Dinner fast, Sassanats. Season 6 and 7 are coming. Hi everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. And wow, does it feel good to be talking about Outlander with you guys or what? It's been a hot minute, like almost a year since I've had any Outlander content for you guys. And there was a pretty big announcement, and within that announcement, more announcements that came out today, March 14th. Now, I don't usually do like news announcing stuff, but this Droughtlander, you know, as well as many other droughts for entertainment, has been longer than normal due to the pandemic, which has absolutely sucked. But thankfully, Starz and the creators of the show, they had some great news for us today. And so I just wanted to make a quick video kind of like pulling together what I found out. I'll have links for stuff down below because I'm not going to directly quote things. Like I said, this isn't going to be Daniel Green's fantasy movie news or anything like that, but I wanted to just share what I know because a lot of you who follow me are here because of my Outlander content. Obviously, I'm a pretty big fan, have been for quite a while, and yeah, I found a lot of you through my Outlander content, which I mostly started making just because there wasn't anybody else that I could talk to about it. And in the same way that I made a Booktube channel, I was like, how about I just make Outlander content, and if no one wants to see it, that's fine. I just want to show off what's on my shirt a little bit because you can only see Jamie and Claire, but I got this beautiful shirt, Jamie and Claire and Bree and Roger and Murtaugh. I wish it also said Ian on it. I need to get me one that says it. And then I also have my Sassenach mug that one of my friends got me for my birthday last year. And I have some hot water with lemon in here because I have a little bit of a sore throat. It's not from any illness. It's because I've already filmed 3 videos today for my normal channel. But then I was laying around doing the Kindle Clear Out readathon, which I'm doing this week, and this news popped into my Instagram feed. And then I was like, I'm not going to feel accomplished today until I look up some of this information, confirm it through some sources, and sit and talk to you guys. So the way I'm going to break this down, I'm going to talk about season 6 stuff, I'm going to talk about season 7 stuff and the spinoffs, what came directly out of Roger Moore's mouth, not Roger Moore, I just forgot what his name is, Ronald Moore, sorry, not Roger Moore, Ronald Moore, and then what some of the speculation is. And then I'm going to pose a couple of questions that I have that I'd like us to discuss down below. That's something I have missed about you guys, is talking about Outlander. And it's still going to be quite a while before we have new episodes or even the book. But again, I just wanted to make this so we could chat a little bit. So first off, what's happening right now? Well, season 6 started filming in this past February 2021. It was originally supposed to start filming in May of 2020, but due to, you know, everything else, it got put off. But we are so lucky that it's been up and running. What does that mean for us, though? What that means is that at the earliest we could have any Outlander would be the end of this year. My personal speculation is that they would maybe do like in October or November and do the start of the show, maybe do a split season. They haven't done that before, because if they got some of the episodes out in 2021, that means we wouldn't have gone a full calendar year without Outlander, because if we don't get any until 2022, it'll be a full calendar year before we get any more Outlander, which would suck. However, I would prefer that they do it well than rush it to us, but there's no new book and there's no new show, and so to go an entire year of 2021 and not have anything, I don't know. I don't think it's impossible for some things to start in October or November. They definitely have put out things before during those months. I believe one of the seasons started in the end of September once. Who knows? I think we'll know more for sure in July when there's a Comic-Con, even if Comic-Con does have to be all virtual, as it has been, like, you know, everything's been virtual, which is actually better because if things are virtual, then our stars don't have to leave filming locations to do interviews and stuff. They can do it from where they are, and that would be exciting. So anyway, that's what's happening with season 6. And I believe it's still supposed to be a focus on Breath of Snow and Ashes, even though there was some major plot points from book 6 that were brought into season 5. That is the speculation, of course, on the people writing these articles. I myself, well, we'll get into that. We'll get into my theories. I'm just sharing the news with you right now. Okay. So the news that dropped today. So I was looking for the articles to make sure that I'm reading what comes out of their mouth. I found some articles that came out 3 weeks ago that were saying that we would get some information soon. And in those ones, they were talking about, getting some more things to come out. And then what dropped today is that season 6 and the spinoffs are the conversations. Well, number one, they've approved season 7 and they have tentative approval for a spinoff. What I found on a previous article from Parade, which again, I will link everything down below so you can see what I'm seeing. And this was what Ronald Moore said in February. He said, conversations are underway on both season 7 and spin-offs, plural. I think we will have good news on both of those fronts before too long, so I feel optimistic about it. I agree that if it should have happened before this, but everything happens in its time, and I think that both of those things are probably going to happen, and hopefully we will be able to say something about it before too long. So that was the article that came out a couple weeks ago. Then today, there was the article announcing that yes, season 7 has been approved, and from what I saw on one of the articles, the spinoff has been approved as well, but they didn't say what it's going to be about. And I know, we're all thinking, it's going to be the Lord John spinoffs, so those are the ones that there's books for. I have a theory about this, which I'll get to in a minute. So again, in the article I read, they said that season 7 would focus on an echo in the bone. And then one of the articles goes into some spoilery speculation just based on what the plot of Echo in the Bone is, which I won't talk about in case you are just a TV watcher. Don't want to ruin that for you. So that is the information that we got. There's a really cute video on the Outlander Instagram, which I've also linked down below, which is all of the cast members reading questions about when season 7 is going to be approved. And then at the end, they say, guess what? You're getting a season 7. And so they're all wearing their costumes because they're filming right now. They're filming on the big house set and it looks amazing. And it's very exciting. So that is the news based off of what we have directly from the mouths of the people involved, from Sony Pictures, from Starz, from everything, okay? Here now is my questions and my speculation that I want us to have a discussion about and why I wanted to get this video out to you guys. They keep saying that it's going to be one book, one season, and now I haven't heard that completely come from, I think in one of these, Matt Roberts, who Matt is really one of the people helping like run everything lately. And there's some speculation about what the spinoffs might be about, including the Lord John Grey spinoff, which there's already books about. They're really talking about like the conspiracies and different things that Lord John would be involved in, which could be really exciting. I mean, I love David Barry, and I would totally appreciate seeing some Lord John stuff in books where we could still have cameos from certain characters. Definitely not like mainline characters, but some other people. There was a note in here about possibly Master Raymond. And so this one says this about it. This is the speculation of the website, okay? Not from the creators. But it did say spin-offs as in plural. So my thought is, are they looking to make a show that has like seasons 1, 2, and 3? Or are they looking to maybe do a set of like limited series that are these spinoffs, right? Like maybe they do one about Master Raymond and it's a 5-episode thing. Maybe they do one about, so one of the other theories is that there would be one about Jamie's parents, and maybe it could be a limited series spinoff, right? And then again, the Parade article goes on to just like, they're kind of just throwing stuff at the wall. There's not really anything backing this up. This is just the person trying to fill lines on the article. But they're like, what about one about Ian, what he was going through with the Native Americans? And I'm not sure. Like, that would be interesting. But I also think that the reveals that we get about Ian, they come better hearing them from him as flashbacks than if we were living through it, because the things that he lives through in in that are just horrible, like lots of deaths of children and, you know, acclimating to living with them. And I think it fits better with it coming out bit by bit. You know what I mean? And then someone speculates as well about Joe Costa, which that's just random. I mean, I love Maria Coyle Kennedy, but that would be very interesting, especially since she is a slave owner living in the New World. Like, I think we already touch enough on what's happening with Joe Costa that we don't need a spin-off about her, right? But anyway, that is just the ones that I think is the most likely and what I want to talk about where they say spin-offs. I think the Master Raymond one would be interesting, particularly because the writers could have a lot more liberty with that, of him, you know, hopping between times more. We could have the Comte show up, because those two are connected in some different ways, without it maybe pissing people off the same way it does when they change things as is, right? If they're changing things that we have not seen with our eyes or on the page, they have more creative freedom in that way. Whereas the fans will just be excited to be getting this information, especially if Diana gives them like, hey, this is the thing that happens, go make it into a script or something like that. So I definitely think that the Lord John spinoff is the one that they're aiming for, because there's actual content already written and on the page for this. They have a great actor who is not being used enough in the show because there's just not stuff to use him for yet. Like in seasons 7 and 8, there will be, but currently that stuff's not there. So could they do this spin-off show and have that come out before he is a main focus in the other show, to kind of fill in his backstory? That could be really interesting, I think, to have it go back from, you know, the Scottish prisoner, and you could have, you know, what happens after he says goodbye to Jamie, and, you know, have that content of his life until Jamie comes back into his life. That could be cool to do as a limited series, I think. And then we're ready to integrate him back into the show and to have him be kind of a main focus, one of the main POV focuses in season 7 and possibly 8 and future, right? That is my guess for what makes the most sense. Even though they haven't they just said season 7 and spinoffs. They haven't named who it really is about. So these possibilities, it would be really interesting. I think that the only reason for there to be plural spinoffs is if they are going to do like limited series runs that are just little like side stories. That could be really fascinating. So we will see what happens there. But anyway, I wanted to know what you guys are thinking. Oh, the final thing I want to mention, sorry. I want to know what you guys think about that, about my speculation about the spinoffs, what you think would be the most likely. If you are just a show watcher, what kind of spinoffs do you want to see? What would be some interesting things for you? Would you want it to be, you know, yeah, where would you want to go? The other speculation that I want to talk about, and thing that I'm the most concerned about, is that it says with Matthew B. Roberts speaks, and he's like, we're very excited to start breaking an echo in the bone and start diving into it. And that leads me to believe that they are still trying to do one book to one season. And no one's going to hear my voice in this. No one will hear me. But what I would love more than anything, is if we would stop trying to shove books this size into one season. Okay? And there was already enough issue because in season 6 or season 5, they were pulling stuff from book 6 when there was enough stuff in book 5 that we didn't even get to. So what I would really like us to see is to just slow down a little bit. There's enough revolutionary stuff going on, and there's enough personal stories going on for us to spread this out, especially if they plan to take on the Malva Christie plotline. If they plan to take on the Christie plotline, they need to slow the F down. So that is just my concern. You know, my first and foremost concern is that I am a book reader who judges the show. So my opinions on this are different than people who just watch the show, okay? If you remember nothing from all of the episodes that I reviewed, I get real feisty when we start to fuck with those things. So All right, I've rambled enough. My throat really is about to give out, but I just wanted to get this put together, get some news out to you guys in case you hadn't heard that season 6 is underway. Season 7 has been approved, as well as spinoffs. And no matter what they're going to be about, I'm still going to be excited. I'm still going to review them on my channel. My foray into TV episodes has went really well for me. It's been the most fun. Well, not the most fun. I still love reading my books. But if you're just finding my video and you haven't, I have an entire Outlander playlist, which I will have linked up above, where I review every Outlander book in the main series. I haven't read the Lord John novels yet, which I will. If a Lord John TV show gets approved, I will read them. And yeah. So you can check that out. I reviewed every episode of season 5. The previous seasons, I review them as a whole, and then I've reviewed every book in the main series. So definitely check that out. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to connect with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.